sure. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Yes. We are joined by J Money. Jay,
Oh,
let me
God.
just unmute you there, pal. Is that working?
Oh, well, if it
Yes.
isn't my good friend,
Yes.
Billy Bedlam and Raven Creed.
It's the wizard.
So wonderful and unexpected to hear from you folks.
Why is your entire body, like, blending into the background? Are you wearing a green suit or something?
Oh, why? You're probably wondering why I'm a floating disembodied head of J Money. Well,
Yeah, a little bit.
well, I've had a busy couple of months, but thank you for asking, Raven. I've been basically locked up celebrating. I'm not sure. I can barely remember what anymore, but I've been traveling the world celebrating for the last, it must be 3-4 months at this point, and I think my body has been consumed by the sheer joy of my life. So it's, yeah, I've basically ascended to being pure energy and existing now in this sort of party void space, which I gotta be honest.
Are you the Wizard of Oz?
That's what I thought.
Oh yeah, this is I'm hanging out with my buddy. He's not here anymore, but he is also a giant floating head, and he's got this whole road that seems to be made of some sort of golden material. So obviously that was fabulous. Walked down that with him, and we became close friends, and we've been polishing off some tequilas ever since. Am I right? I'm not wrong.
I'm actually in tears here. Well, it's great to see your head, if not the rest of you, but it's fantastic to see some part of you, Jay. It's been a while.
It's great to
I
see
have no
you
idea
too,
how
man.
the rest of this is going to go, by the way. I can't, any predictions of how this is going to, huh?
I think you can guess how the rest of this is going to go.
It's going to be crack addict central.
Well, as part of my 3-month celebration station, I have been enjoying some parts of this show, particularly Owen Richards, that piece of trash, who I believe, when asked some question that was very flattering about me, answered me to. I think the question was, who is the most reasonable wrestler that you know?
Oh,
And
the most normal. I know what John about. It was the most normal.
Yeah, something like that. And he said, J Money. And Raven, I believe you responded with something like, him? That eccentric crack addict weirdo?
To be fair, man, can you not fucking see yourself?
Well, obviously I can. Obviously I can see myself. I'm looking at myself on a screen. As I'm looking at you, I can see exactly the top 8 or 10 inches of myself.
Okay. So are you going to try and make a case for why you're like a normal person?
No, God, no. That guy, that Richards is a fool.
Yeah, it's way too boring.
He's just wrong.
Okay. Who do you think is the most normal wrestler that you know?
Oh,
like a human being.
Oh, the most human. The most human I know is this one guy who had this. He literally called a group Insanity. And was it Insanity? Was it Insanity? Bedlam, what was the name of your group at CCW?
Perfect!
Oh, there he is. Yeah, so this guy, William, was a member of a group that has something to do with Sanity and CCW. William is the most normal wrestler that I know.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Look, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I'll keep saying it until people give me the credit for coming up with it. No one got into wrestling because everything was going great.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. I've never actually, like, everyone either has daddy issues or mommy issues or fucking alcohol issues for the most part.
The ones you got to worry about is the people who got into it because they had financial issues and they were rudely awoken as the financial realities.
Yeah, I've spent a way too much money on wrestling.
Oh yeah. Oh, you lose a hell of a lot more than you gain. No, that's for sure.
Don't even talk to me. Don't even talk to me about losing money.
Yeah, this guy knows.
Gear do you fucking have, Bedlam? How much money have you said on fucking just gear?
I have 24 sets of gear.
Billy, I gotta be honest with you, that's about 18 too many.
No, it's not though. Because the first 2 sets weren't custom. The first set was Finley Bedlam, okay? And the second one was just another generic fucking, I think they're the same black and yellow ones that LJ Cleary had years ago when he made his debut. Everybody had them. Michael May,
classic.
Mayhem had them black and red. Oh, sorry, black and green. So everyone had them. I cut mine into shorts to show off my booty.
Of course, I can appreciate that.
Yeah. And after that, then I got the custom ones. So I have 22 sets of custom ones. And you might think it's overkill, but I disagree. So there you go.
That's just your prerogative.
Well, every time I bought a set, I'd buy 3 sets at a time because there was no point in just getting one set, I felt.
Oh yeah, no point whatsoever in spending like 150 quid on one set of gear. You might as well spend like 400 on a few.
Jesus, they're not that expensive.
Economies of scale are very important.
But fuck it, I have different types. Like I've got your trunks that I've only wore a few times. I had the kind of box, which I kind of, one of them was made badly, and the other one's kind of disintegrated in the wash. But after I went to Vicious and started going with the longer biker stuff, they were cool. They are cool. 12 pairs of them because I kept coming up with ideas. I'm like, 3 more pairs. But funny enough, since I started running Phoenix, there's no more fucking wrestling gear because there's no more money to spend frivolously on wrestling gear.
It's all tied up in rings and shows.
Rings and shows and merch and shit. And speaking of merch, there's a very well reasonably priced online store right now.
What does that T-shirt say in the back there, Betsy?
I'm glad you brought it up, Jay, because that bitch Boston definitely killed her husband, right?
I got a joke for you. Knock knock.
Who's there?
That bitch Carol Baskin.
Not her husband, though. Hey.
That is also a good joke. That is not what I was going for.
Okay, go for it again.
All right, who's knock knock?
I ruined it.
Who's there?
That bitch Carol Baskin.
That bitch Carol Baskin who?
That bitch Carol Baskin who killed her husband.
Hey, lads, I haven't even seen the fucking show.
Yeah, it's good watching. What, you have something better to do?
Yeah. Just making strawberry daiquiris.
Much Tiger King?
No, I think I'm one of those assholes who something is popular. I won't not watch it because it's popular. I'm not watching it because everyone's telling me to watch it. So I still feel the need to rebel, you know?
Yeah. That was one of the many reasons I never watched your championship matches. Oh, these 2 pillows aren't the only thing that's bringing the fire.
Wait, you just...
We won't be able to do another one after this. This one can't get better.
You wanted the smoke, you got the smoke.
This is the pinnacle of our fucking very short video cast / podcast drinking thing.
All right. Let's shoot on someone. So go on, shoot on.
I should really get out of this guy's place. Give me 1 second, and I gotta get into something a little bit more comfortable.
Okay, no worries.
What the fuck is he gonna do?
I don't know, but I have a feeling he'll be back quite soon.
It's all right. While I'm in the void, you people can keep talking.
Okay. What did you think of the Firefly Funhouse at WrestleMania?
What did I think?
Yeah, you. I'm asking you. We're doing a fucking interview kind of show thing.
What did I think of the Firefly Funhouse? I loved it. I loved it. Because, because so much of it was here we are back home.
Oh.
Wonderful.
Hey.
You have a body again. That's lovely.
Yeah. I mean, my body reforms once I leave old Oz's party dungeon. Well, the smoke that was behind me didn't come from a smoke machine. Let me tell you that much for nothing. It came from the old wizard himself.
How's he doing during quarantine? Is the old whiz?
What do you mean?
How's he doing? Is he cracking up? What do
you mean? Wait, what do you mean quarantine?
Well, clearly, your level
of... you? Like, what the fuck are you? Do you even exist?
In the quantum...
Of course I can. You can see now all of my physical presence here in front of you. Of course I exist. What are you talking about? What's this? Quarantine? No, he's not quarantined. I mean, he chooses to stay in that place all the time.
Fair.
Oh, yes, of course.
Is that a new jacket you have?
Actually, a very old jacket I have.
Is it?
This is the original J Money garb. I've opted for the lighter, more easy-flowing kimono in some of my more recent appearances, but this is the OG fur.
Nice.
Some of my finest work.
We were looking at we were watching in the Phoenix training there on Sunday, I think we did, we did a watch along just kind of internally with the first show we did, which was a really fucking special show, right? We can all agree we were all there.
That was great.
You were the host with the most. I think it was a lot warmer. It was July, so you obviously had the lighter kimono jobby.
Exactly, all about operating on peak efficiency.
Absolutely,
peak and otherwise.
Absolutely, it was a tremendous show, and it was a tremendous host. And you know what, Jim Money, we haven't seen you for a while in Cork, and we're looking forward to seeing a little bit more of you.
Absolutely. Well, Jim Money has been preoccupado with the aforementioned world traveling. But Miss Phoenix, let me tell you that much. Seen some great stuff. I believe the last time was
Limerick.
It may have been the Courage Show.
No, we did one after that. We tagged. I think me and you tagged against Alex.
That big 8-man, wasn't it?
Gene.
Was that Limerick?
No, it wasn't. This was.
No, I was in the Circus Factory.
It wasn't the 8-man. It was. We did a 6-man after that. In fact, yeah.
I got my ass kicked so many times in Phoenix. I barely remember half of it.
That was sorry. You're right, Raven. We did an 8-man in Battle of the Bastards. It was myself, Marion Armstrong, Jay Money, and Burnsy, Dan O'Burns.
Yes.
That was the last time we saw you. That was the last time we tagged. But we that was a cool match actually in Limerick. Me and you, we tagged against Alexander Dean and Butch Armstrong, who's seen the error of his ways. So he's back in Armstrong country.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good to see him having turned around.
Exactly. But that's the show we've actually we're editing at the moment, and we'll be putting up really soon.
Very nice.
Off snakes.
A lot of classics in that vault.
Yeah, well, we were just recently received our hard drive, so we're in the middle of editing some stuff and getting some stuff commentated on. And if my internet will fucking allow me, I've 3 times I tried to upload a show this week, and it's just not doing it. That's imagine satellite broadband. So since the last time we met, I moved to the countryside. This is Bedlam Lodge. It's about 50 miles from anywhere, in the middle of the fucking countryside.
I was going to say, I didn't recognize the rustic wood paneling behind you. I was like, I've been in your home. And admittedly, I don't remember much. I remember 3 things. Sharing a couch with Michael May. We would go on to share much more. Not in that way, Raven. Yes, we're going to share success.
Broken dream.
Shops in a certain capacity. That was a great night. And the long ass drive home the following morning. God, that was a fabulous evening.
Was that the Christmas show that you were down for? Is that the one that you're on about?
That was some festive fun right there.
That was a weird show. That was a weird after party. A weird show.
It's good. But the show was weird, but that was the Wrestle Slam that Raven loved. She came up with that name actually, Wrestle Slam.
Yeah, I did. I thought it was fucking
It combines
genius,
the 2 best things about wrestling. Yeah. Wrestling and the slams involved in wrestling.
Exactly. He was very creative.
Fucking genius. Can't believe it wasn't a raring success.
I know, but sure, look, we moved on to life. But we had our after party in the Bishopstown bar, and then we all poured into my house. My brother, who I thought wasn't there, was asleep upstairs. He came back down and was like, "What's the fuck going on here, lads?" But he was just like, "Give me a beer." I was just like, nice.
And we were like, "Well, this ship has left the harbor. You have 2 options: jump on board, or deal with the wake of the ship. Either way, either way, you've left the ground. You can either reach out and grab it, that dream, or fall behind."
I got home at like 5 a.m. that night, or I fucking remember that. I don't remember much else. I remember I talked about eating ass, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good 6 or 8 hours of conversation in that topic alone.
Yeah.
To be fucking fair, there's technique, there's
stories, highs, no lows, only other highs.
So I got a lovely. I've been waiting to break out a very special drop of whiskey for this very occasion.
Oh.
And I think you will appreciate this. Is
Ooh!
Gentleman Jack. Num num.
Who's that? I don't know anybody called. I realized that the words Jack, it seems to be toner, are written were written on the screen as I was gone. I have no idea who that person
That
is.
doesn't come true on the actual finished product.
Well, can you beep those words out? That'd be great.
So what I've got here is actually a very special bottle of whiskey that I've been keeping for such an occasion, right? Because you have what I can see behind you. Obviously you've got a plethora.
Yeah, we have a couple of
So
we have a couple of drinks. We have a couple of first editions.
yes,
We actually most of those books are hollowed out and just contain a PS1 copy of Simpsons Wrestling,
nice.
where I learned everything I know about wrestling. What else do we have in here? We seem to have there's some atlases, but they're all printed in black and white using nothing but words. This is actually a picture of me as a fetus.
Nice.
You know, because if I live by anything, never forget where you come from. And this is a picture of me now. Because never forget where you are.
What's fucking happening?
He's about to drink some Gentleman Jack. That's what's happening.
Jack. So anyway, I bought a special bottle of whiskey that I've been wanting to have for a special occasion, and I felt that tonight is a special occasion.
That's lovely. I appreciate that. That's
I'm
What's your usual whiskey? Okay, that's some famous last words, is what that is.
I've been drinking way too much. So, Schleunte, lads and ladies, boom, cheersy, cheersy, cheersy.
Kablam.
Oh, it smells nice.
It is great to see you again.
Absolutely.
You too, man. What have you actually been up to? Like, what have you been doing while we're all kind of, well, you're not actually stuck inside. You've been traveling the world, you said.
Why are you stuck inside? What is this stuck inside?
Have you not been on the internet for a while?
No, I'm on the internet, but I go to only very specific rich people parts of the internet that you may not know of.
Okay, cool. Have you
so
ever
you're
heard
part of the
something...
Illuminati that's controlling the rest of us, so we have to stay inside. So that's basically
yeah. So the hierarchy pretty much goes like normal people, Illuminati, stone cutters, and then my guys.
Okay.
So have you ever heard of a place in China called Wuhan?
Yeah, I got some of my best buddies from Wuhan. Some of my best business interests are in Wuhan. We got this We got this one place. And it's a factory, but we don't actually make the thing that we say we make. It's supposed to be an electronics factory. But what we actually manufacture there is it's a breeding ground for bats and some sort of sand shrew looking creature. I forget the name of. So yeah, I've been to Wuhan many times. Wuhan, great people.
Probably haven't been there since January, I'd imagine. No.
No, last time I was in Wuhan was we set up that factory in 2016, and God damn it, would I never go back? That place is a shithole.
Well, it's been thriving. It's been thriving.
Yeah, it's just been doing great. I hear your business is probably doing great.
Yeah, someone said something that business was either booming or had exploded or was crumbling. It was some sort of explosive, dramatic terminology. So I took it as a positive and kept on rolling.
Probably just as positive, yeah. Maybe just you don't seem like a fella who checks the news rather often.
Maybe ask the wizard. The wizard might know what's going on.
Oh.
God, that's a long trip back.
Yeah.
Guys, can you just fill me in? I feel like I'm missing a trick here.
Okay, we're in the fucking apocalypse, lad.
Oh!
Yeah.
Wait, which kind of apocalypse? Like Four Horsemen, Devil Come Back, Third Coming of Jesus? Which one are we talking about?
No going outside, no wrestling apocalypse. That one.
Yeah.
The shit when they wash your hands or we're all going to die. Sneeze into your elbow and.
Yeah. Like you remember the plague, yeah?
That sounds like the worst.
Like that.
It is, isn't it?
Sneezing into your elbow, that does sound like the apocalypse. It sounds like the worst.
But you can turn it into a dab. Shoo! You know what I mean?
Oh, that's pretty nice. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, it's good that that's the worst part of it, is that all people are doing is sneezing and everything else is fine.
All right. Okay, I got to check this internet news you speak of.
Okay.
You know what, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to call Alphonse, get him to check it for me.
Okay.
Alphonse! Yeah, Alphonse, yeah, it's me. I know it's been a long time, but those plants better be watered and that bonsai better be 6 inches higher at this point. Am I right? I'm not wrong. Anyway, I'm here with Bedsy, Creed, Raven, not Apollo. I know, I was disappointed too. Yeah. They tell me that everyone's been inside for a long time. About Wuhan.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. Alphonse, why didn't you tell me? So everyone else has been not wrestling because they can't, not because they chose not to, like me? I assumed everyone else was also off celebrating some sort of great, momentous life event. No, literally stuck indoors. God, I really shouldn't have been traveling so much.
You might
Hey,
want to get
Alphonse.
tested.
Stay safe.
You might want to go to the doctor, lad.
You might want to get tested, yeah.
Yeah, I should get tested. I feel like my usual weekly get tested guy isn't going to cover this one, though.
Yeah.
He has a very specific set of skills.
It's a different.
Now, that brief phone conversation has brought me completely up to speed.
It's a different dabbing kind of scenario. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I'm used to a good swab, but usually it's elective.
Oh my god. Oh my fucking god.
So what have you guys been doing indoors? Oh, tangy! Use more descriptive words for me, Billy.
In and I don't really know what's
tangy.
Will ask me again in half
What's
an hour.
Give me on a 1 to 10. What's the?
It's
I love to see it.
It's a fucking I don't know. It's a punch in the mouth, an unintentional one.
So did you just pay a shitload of money for a whiskey that you don't like, or?
No, I'm not saying I don't like it. It's just it's got a fucking crazy Jack Daniels fucking headbutt to it, like.
Okay.
I like Jack Daniels. I've been to Tennessee. You know what I mean?
And you like headbutts, so that's good.
Yeah, well, it's not.
It kind of sounds like the perfect whiskey for you, to be honest.
Well, it's not smooth. Let's say that. We'll say that.
Okay. Well, sometimes it's nice, a little bit rough. You know. You know that, Jack, don't you?
Who?
Jay. Money. Would you prefer me to refer to you as Jay or Mr. Money?
Hey, you can call me anytime.
Okay. Okay.
I'm the worst. Yeah, whatever. It's all good.
So this has been crackheaded to fuck so far.
Yeah. I feel like I'm really mellowing into the conversation at this point. Well, it's at this point I'm also like my green. I've taken down the green screen morph suit, and that's been a real comfort increase.
Taking off the green screen morph suit.
Yeah, it's only half off, by which I mean it's still half on.
Okay.
I'm a glasses half full kind of guy.
Oh yeah.
So lots of potential for the future.
What do you have in there? What is your tibble this evening, Jay?
So, actually, I was having some drinks with some friends only last week. Actually, we've been supposed to go to the Flat, the music event. It was in Mullingar. And obviously, for some reason, they said it had been cancelled. I now know why. So we instead decided we would we were going to do a remote Flat. And all of the events were in making drinks. So I actually am surrounded by the ingredients for margaritas. So I got some Cointreau, I got some tequila.
Excuse you.
Got some limes lying around here. So I'm drinking like a ghetto margarita right now. Because who was the effort to put into a frozen marg, a true frozen marg? Not this guy. Usually I have a guy for that. That brother ain't here.
We're at 3 different levels here. We're at whatever you described, which I wouldn't be able to repeat because
it's a margarita.
A ghetto margarita. You're in a strawberry daiquiri, and I'm what can only be described as a street whiskey.
You're the manly one out of this one, so is it?
No, I'll be the one that's getting sick later.
What makes it so street?
I feel like I'm going to get knocked down by it.
What's the number on that one? What's the percentage? It's a whiskey, so it can only be hitting what, 42?
Let me get all my glasses off screen because I hate looking at myself with glasses.
Oh, look at that guy. The side of that guy's face really looks like it knows what it's doing.
Well, it's 40. It's not that. It's just
that's still a power. It's still
It's
a
like-
powerful hooch.
It's like you got a bottle of Jameson and a bottle of Jack Daniels and went, fuck it, and poured two of them together and went, here you go. And called it Gentleman Jack and said, oh, this will be nice and smooth. It's called Gentleman Jack. Bam! Fucking up. You had to fuck just happened there. I have a bottle of normal Jack Daniels. Maybe I should need it with Coke. I might need it with Coke.
Yeah, I often find that anytime I have a nice whiskey or a nice anything, there's always that little part of me in the back of my head that's like, yeah, I mean, this like 20 quid glass of whiskey is good, but couldn't it with a Diet Coke might be a lot fucking better.
Yeah. Well, I drink
Do you feel,
Jameson.
do you feel guilty for doing that? Because like I don't know that much about like whiskey and stuff like that. I'm not a whiskey drinker, but do you ever feel like you probably shouldn't be doing that?
No.
I feel like if the thing you're a purist about is whiskey, you need to re-examine your priorities. And also, it's like wrestling. It's like anything else. It's all subjective. If you like comedy wrestling, if you like fucking grindstone wrestling, if you like catch as catch can wrestling, I don't care how much you pay for it as long as you have a good time. If you want to put a nice whiskey or an expensive whiskey in with some Coke, in with some fucking lemonade, you want to tip your ash into it, fuck it, you do you.
It's your money. Do you know what I mean? But I would Jameson with a drop of water, just kind of neat like that, like. But Jameson 25 bottle, Jameson 85 bottle, or 85 a shot. I've had once or twice, which is fucking same taste. It's just whiskey. I am not a purist. I am just a man with a bottle of whiskey. You know what I mean? But my Jack Daniels, I would always have with Coke. So I am going to have a drop of this with a drop of Coke in a minute, and we'll report back to you later on in the podcast.
This has been the Whiskey Minute with Billy Bedlam.
Yeah.
Appreciate the input. Love it.
Thirsty Thursdays is brought to you in part by Jack Daniels. Get yourself kicked in the face with a nice shot of Gentleman Jack Daniels.
You're gonna make bad decisions. You might as well forget. Drink Gentleman Jack.
Exactly. Yeah.
You bought me my first like just whiskey. Like it was like 2 years ago. It was at that Limerick show that you broke your hip in.
Oh yeah.
And you bought everyone whiskey.
Yeah.
And
we had good times.
I thought I died when I took a sip of it. Like it was so fucking like it was just like I'm not used to like drinking like shots and stuff like that. I thought I fucking died. It's not my fucking thing at all. I wish I liked it. Like I seem like I want to be the kind of person that just like drinks whiskey and is like badass, but I'm just really not. I like fucking fruity bullshit. Like
I like fruity.
I feel
bullshit.
like
love fruity bullshit. I don't drink
everyone
whiskey.
loves fruity bullshit.
Yeah, fruity bullshit.
I feel like it's the kind of thing. Like I remember the first time I ever had beer, and I was like, yeah, let's do this. And then I tried it, and I was like, this.
yeah, it's gross.
This is what it
it
is. And then eventually you're like, oh, I could grow to really need this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I remember getting a flagon of Bulmers, right? You're in the 1%. You don't know what a flagon of Bulmers is, Jay, money, right? It's what us street
a flagship of Bulmers, like a 40 footer.
It's what us street urchins use drink, right? It's a 2-liter bottle of the cheap shit, right? But just so. I used to drink a little bit of it, and I hated the taste of it. I hated it. I would just pretend to be drunk, and then just start spilling it out so people wouldn't be putting pressure under me. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, I'm really wasted. And later on in life, I had like 9 cans of cider last Saturday night doing a fucking podcast with Derry Thatcher. It's like, So, things change.
Things change. People grow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I should be in Miami right now, actually. I just thought of that.
Oh, shit, what were you going to be doing there? Wait, what? No, I was going to be like, what, were you heading, I was like, you're not heading over for Mania. That was a month ago.
Oh, we'd part of my shoot job, like, is fucking qualified for this thing called President's Club. So we get a free holiday every year if we qualify. Last year was my first time ever qualifying, and I've been doing it years. We went to Cancun, Mexico.
Nice.
This year was fucking Florida. All expenses paid, 5-star hotel for 5 nights. And
what did you do? What did you do to get this again? Take it a step back.
So I'm in sales. My shoot job is fucking IT software sales.
Yeah.
And when you make your yearly targets, you qualify for what's called President's Club. And President's Club is it's a big thing. They spoil you. I mean, last year they flew us to Cancun, a 5-star resort, like everything. They didn't even have tills. They don't take money. It's like everything's free, food, drink,
Jesus.
and the service is just so they give. And like they were handing us out Ray-Bans, Oakleys, big.
That sounds like something I fucking abuse. Like.
Yeah. Raven would be walking out of there with like 3 backpacks from the venue.
Oh
Each
yeah.
one loaded up with bottles and
Oh yeah, I
sherry,
bring like a big fucking purse and like line it with tinfoil and just put in fucking food and shit.
Yeah, the fucking margaritas and what's the other cocktail? The mojitos in the pool bar in Mexico. You're like swimming around. You're like, going, lads, I think I've made it here. But it's try for 5 days, then you're back to fucking street whiskey again. But
back to getting headbutted by Gentleman Jack.
Yeah, so we didn't go this year because of the fucking virus, and we're not going. It's cancelled. So, and today I was supposed to fly yesterday, so I should be in Miami right now. I'm having another drink.
Well, you're in the second best possible place. Your home, surrounded digitally by Raven Creed and J Money.
Yes.
I mean, if you gave me the option, would I rather be in Cancun, or would I rather be in Miami, or would I rather be on the moon? Hell no, right here, right now.
You're a fucking liar, then.
Cheers.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, he's just making me feel bad.
Yeah.
But it worked.
Fuck all of y'all.
It worked. It worked.
In all honesty, yes.
So wrestling-wise, J Money, like what brought you to the dance?
Yeah.
What brought you to the dance? I mean, you missed out on the whole CCW thing. You're one of the few guys that bar like you younger guys, right? That we haven't met. We didn't meet outside of or before Phoenix. I mean, the first day I met you was the day of our first show. I mean, we spoke on the phone maybe 2 or 3 weeks before the show. We chatted about a couple of things. Hosting, we hadn't met. I think you might have met Raven, right? Up in Dublin at 1 or 2 things, but you missed the whole CCW draft. And
I caught the very tail end of CCW. I think I saw the last 2 shows.
Okay.
And it was an adventure. It was the first.
I'm wrong. We did meet. I'm wrong.
Only in passing. I was under the radar on those ones. That was the first show where my sheer practicality got me a match. Right, has gone down, and I could see a bunch of people like setting up a bunch of stuff, and I was just in my background is. I have spent some time around the theater. I could see some people like setting something up, and I was like, "Well, that's just infuriatingly wrong." And I went over and offered my help. And a man, I don't remember his name. It was something like Lars Coulahan or something.
Lars.
So this guy Lars is like, this guy seems like he's got his shit together. And he says, "Hey, I hear you're this, and this." He's like, "Do you have your gear?" And I was like, "Nope." And that was the last time I ever made that fucking mistake.
Yeah. Fucking Lars, huh? Good old Lars.
Mm-hmm. And then during, I believe it was the final CCW weekend before some local ruffians took it in their own hands and made it, better.
Bastards.
How very dare they? I believe I worked. I did a matinee show against someone called That 90s Guy. I wonder whatever happened to him.
We found out he went back to the 90s.
Yeah,
he went to the 90s. Yeah.
He was a time traveler. He didn't know he was a time traveler, though, so we had to put him. We had to put him back in his time machine that he didn't know he had, and threw him back to the 90s.
That, to be honest, that seemed wise.
Yeah,
that seemed wise.
So,
and then I believe there was a rumble that evening. And that was the last. That was the last time we saw CCW. But we never really, I was very in the background during those times. I was very sort of. We never really talked a huge amount. I was hanging out, but I wasn't. Sometimes I like to look, then leap.
Yeah. Absolutely.
In literally this one example. But then, of course, Phoenix happened, and then fucking the rule book was out the window. Everything was great. That very first show, some of the most fun I've ever had. The moment where we bring some beers into the ring, and Ballymun Bruiser decides to take some goddamn liberties and just. Well, it was a great night. It was a load of memorable moments. God, that was. I remember before the show, walking outside. before doing the opening, the opening segment, and I couldn't see the end of the crowd.
Yeah.
I sort of leaned around that corner. I was like, I wonder if anyone showed up. Some of them motherfucking did. That was a great night.
It was, and the second one as well. Oops, we did it again.
Oops, you did.
We had some big crowds. I mean, and at the start there was a big buzz. Like,
Sure,
we're not going to be in the Kino anymore, but like, fuck it.
Damn shame.
Life is what life is. But you hosted our first 2 shows, and you did a fucking hell of a job. A hell of a job.
You made it easy. You put matches like that on. You bring in talent like that from all over the country. But you bring in a crowd like that. Woo, easy.
It was a great fit there. You were a great fit for the start to be to face the first host for the first 2 shows. I mean, there was a big crowd reaction when you came out. There was a good few people down from Dublin as well. Do you know what I mean? People's noses were at them like, let's go down here to have a look. Like, come on down to fuck.
Yeah.
And it was good. It was good, but like, it was a pleasure to have you. And
it was an honor to play a small part.
Back to part 2, we're here with Mr. Money and Raven Creed and a lovely drop of whiskey. It's not. It's shit, but anyway, I'm going to drink it.
It's expensive, so it's good shit though.
Well, it's not that expensive. It was 45 euros. I'm not going to fucking. It's twice as dear as a bottle of Teachers. So there you go.
Yeah.
And I now use it.
And we can see here that J Money has actually put on a T-shirt. This is a fucking.
I know. At any given time, only a certain percentage of my upper body can be covered, so I can wear either no middle or no sleeves, but I can never wear both at the same time.
Oh,
it's in my contract. It's in my contract.
Contract with who?
With wrestling.
Oh, right. You had to sign an entire contract for the contract.
I signed a wrestling contract. Yeah. Not with like WWE or Ring of Honor or AEW or Zero One or New Japan or anybody. I signed a contract with the concept of wrestling.
Yes.
As we all did.
Oh yes, of course. The second I started.
When was the last time you wrestled, actually? Last match I had was actually in Titanic. So the big wide world of J Money kind of got in the way for a little bit there, where I spent a little bit of time not in the ring. I actually did a match against Luther Valentine up in Titanic, and beat the piss out of him. That was fun. And that was I believe that was December or January, and that was actually my last match. I've been focusing a little bit more on the success of others in the ring in the meantime. You may be familiar with my relationship with one Liam Royal, one Michael May.
Sure.
Single greatest tag team on the island.
True pros.
Killing it. I was so upset that the lockdown, as I just heard from my friend Alphonse, from my butler Alphonse on the phone, happened like I believe 3 days, maybe 2 days before Scrapomania.
Yeah.
Oh,
that sucks. That sucks.
This close to beating the piss out of Biku and Joe Cabre at the same time. God, that would have been fun.
It was like, that was probably like the hardest call to make, because like, could he have still gotten away with doing the show? Yeah. But like 2,000 people coming from all over Ireland, all over Europe. I know like there's probably some people fucking coming from America to see that because John Moxley was on the fucking card, so why wouldn't you? Like, people coming from all over the gap. Like, it would have fucked up our situation a little bit more.
Yeah.
So like, it was definitely the right call, but it was.
Put it this way, it's not the decision.
Yeah,
it's not the decision I would have made, and I would have been wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
that would have been wrong.
It pains me. Like Joe Cabre has made exactly one good decision in his entire life, and it was postponing Scrapomania, and it's postponed. Like, there are some scores that need to be settled.
Oh yeah.
I just want to publicly distance myself.
Will probably happen again.
I'm going to publicly
like
distance
John
myself
Moxley
from
would
that
probably do
statement that Joe Cabret made one good decision. I just want to publicly distance myself from that statement. I think.
Name one other good decision.
Taking the belt off of me.
Bad decision. Who did he put it on? Sammy fucking Jane?
No, Aoife Valkyrie.
Oh yeah, that was an okay decision.
Like,
yeah, that was okay.
Creating OTT.
That was a fucking good decision.
It was lucky.
I think I know when I think I can pinpoint to when OTT was created. I think I was there.
Go on.
I think I was there. I think we were in Ballydehob at a show that Luther Ward and Omen, or just Omen was booked on. Lance, is it Lance we were referring to earlier? Lance Coulahan?
Yeah, Lars. Was it
Lars?
Lars?
Sorry, Lars
Lance.
Coulahan had booked
Lance.
this. Sorry, Lance was somebody else. So this tournament in Ballydehob, the Dan O'Mahony Invitational thingamajab, and the summer tour.
That was the official title.
In this really, really small, really tiny, weeny venue, like probably the size of this room. And there was about 10 people in the crowd, and 4 of them were trainee wrestlers. Before the show, Joe, who had recently come back from NXT, was just sitting there like, and we reckon, myself and Luke and a few others reckon that that's when they're listening to Lars or working for Lars, that's when OTT was created. Fuck this shit.
Yeah. The fuck this shit has been the genesis of so many great ideas.
God, yeah, actually.
Sometimes all it takes,
wasn't it?
Some say sometimes all it takes is seeing it done so wrong. Like, because doing anything is hard. Even doing it badly is hard. Doing it badly is almost as hard as doing it right. You just make fucking stupid decisions along the way. But seeing those stupid decisions having been made and then being like, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big play. Joe made it. You made it. Shit, I kind of made it once or twice.
Speaking of that, come here, I was a bit, when we were selling the company there, I know it didn't go through now yet because of this whole virus and stuff. I was surprised that we didn't hear from J Money Worldwide. Is that maybe you weren't around at the time or whatnot? But surprised that
no one ever hears directly from J Money Worldwide. J Money Worldwide has a lot of interests around the world, and let me tell you, if you could draw a straight line from any single dollar bill all the way to J Money Worldwide, you deserve a Nobel Prize in forensics. I assume they give that. Okay. J Money Worldwide has a lot of interests. There's a lot of umbrellas. Underneath those umbrellas are snails. Those snails have shells, and those shells have companies. And there may have been some percentage of influence acquired through some means that may be influenceable by J Money.
Okay.
There's a lot going on. I wouldn't even begin. I couldn't even begin to understand everything that I touch.
So what's the weirdest business venture J Money has? Like, do you own like ostrich farms and shit like that? Like,
funny. When the Phoenix sale was going through, which I knew nothing about at the time, and it's important that everyone appreciates that I knew nothing about it at the time. I actually was very busy. I was in Shanghai. I was in Shanghai, and I was dealing with one of my good buddies is a shipping magnate operating out of Shanghai, and he hilariously was kidnapped by some pirates who were intercepting cargo vessels leaving Shanghai, heading to wherever the hell they were heading from. And his name was actually Shanghai. First name Shang, second name Hai. So Shanghai got Shanghai out of Shanghai. So I was dealing with the tiger. I was dealing with the tiger kidnapping at the time. So that was, I would say, that's maybe my most audibly fun adventure over that time. My good friend Shanghai getting Shanghaied in Shanghai.
Shanghai.
That's brilliant. That's.
And how is Shanghai now? Is he okay?
We lost him. Yeah, we lost him.
Shit.
Thankfully, his son Shangdu is a far more, let's say, pragmatic businessman. He knows where his bread is buttered. He knows where his rice gets steamed. He appreciates the ins and outs and back ins and get the fuck outs of the world of business. And I appreciate him for it. Anyway, we'll pour some out for my good friend, the late, the mediocre Shanghai. But hey, let me tell you, those pirates, they knew what was up.
So,
we were talking about wrestling.
This is really
it's getting late. It's not hard. It's easy. We're talking about wrestling. It's something that we've all given far too much to.
It's easy for you. It's hard to keep a conversation going with a gimmick. Don't worry about editing. I let this just bit out. I'm just like, what?
No, we were talking about the Rise of Phoenix. We were talking about the rise of OTT.
Okay.
Shit, we hadn't even
how
talked.
OTT was born.
How OTT was born. What would you say was the peak of OTT?
Ooh, fuck, that's interesting. I think really recently, like Jordan Devlin versus David Starr was probably my favorite match that I've ever seen live. Like,
that's fair.
Like, I don't know if I'd say that was the peak, but it was like, I think it's really fucking difficult to tell because like OTT have this really fucking annoying thing of like they do a great show and I'm like, fuck, the next one can't be better, and then they somehow do something better. Then they have a better video package. Then they have a better storyline. Then there's a better match. And, like, it's annoying because you think, oh, fuck, it can't get better. And it keeps getting better. This is somehow turning into an advertisement for OTT. I don't mean it. But so, like, it's kind of like...
Yes, you do.
Oh, fucking book me, Joe, please. So, like, I don't know if it's fair to say that OTT have had its peak yet.
For a company,
I think you've hit on the nail on the head. Bedlam, what do you think?
A company that keeps evolving, like OTT, Tifley, and had to deal with, like a lot of companies do, deal with adversaries, like fucking, like losing their venue.
Yeah.
And growing even. Next thing they're doing National Stadium, and they're doing basketball arenas, and they're fucking traveling up to Cork doing basketball arena. One booked in Waterford. Like what they're doing in Belfast. I mean, for a company that keeps evolving, and to have, I don't know about the peak because I wouldn't have been. I don't think I really followed them that closely in the early days, myself personally, because Lars had us convinced that they were the enemy.
And it turns out a rising tide raises all ships.
Yeah, but there you go. There you go.
Just like my good buddy Shanghai learned to realize the hard way.
Like I'd seen matches and stuff. The first OTT show I'd gone to, I was blown away by the crowd interaction. I was just like, it was before we started Phoenix. It was like, oh, so this is what wrestling is. This is what Irish.
What was that? How deep in OTT was it? Because I went to OTT before I knew anything. I went to OTT. OTT was kind of the reason I got back into wrestling. I hadn't watched wrestling in any capacity in years. And then a buddy brought me along, and I was like, this is fucking entertainment right here. This might be the best night out in town. Yeah. And I remember real clear that I would buy 10 tickets to every OTT show. First show I went to, loved it. Second show I went to was bought into it. Third show I went to was literally bought in because I would, from that point on, buy 10 tickets to every show because I knew I could find 9 people who wanted to go, like people who I knew, friends. Because it was the thing to do. In addition to being a wrestling show, it was the best night out in town.
Yeah.
It was such an easy sell. It was like, hey, do you want fucking banging tunes? Do you want District 8? No. See, everyone outside of the wrestling community knows that Tivoli is District 8. It's where they all do drugs and listen to Deep House. Great venue outside of that. You know, that venue actually carried weight before OTT. And turns out you can get 9 people to go. The best thing about OTT back in the early days, the thing that I to this day believe sold more tickets than anything else, 3 cans for a tenner.
What was it?
3 cans, €10.
Wow. Did they have a license to that? That'd be class. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, like if hypothetically, and I'm not saying that I might have a venue that can do this in the city center soon, is like being both a wrestling show and a night out That's an easy sell for anybody.
It is, yeah.
When OTT was in the Irish Times, when OTT was hitting the news, when OTT got that mainstream appeal, you got to be more than wrestling, and wrestling is more than wrestling. Shit, the one thing wrestling isn't is wrestling.
Yeah.
My first show that I went to OTT, I was driving the Armstrong, and it's only about 2 years ago. I've never been to a Tiffany show. I missed that, unfortunately. I primarily went to Contenders because I was either driving the Armstrongs or I'd go up with Raven or whatever. So the first show I was at was a hangover show. So it was just after a stadium show the night before, I believe. I think
Yeah.
Raven, you were on the stadium show the night before. I brought up the Armstrongs and the car broke down. And I barely got them to the fucking show on time, and they were wrestling the Angel Cruisers in the opening in the first match.
I remember that match.
Huge Shane Strickland there was a multi-man match. Shane Strickland, Jordan Devlin. I can't really remember who else was on it. Terry Thatcher was with Scotty Davis in the main event for the NLW belt.
Was that the match that had Keith Lee and Shane Strickland versus Jordan and Maxer?
Yes, I mean
Maxer, another good man, who makes good decisions, takes the right help when it needs it.
You're like, fucking hell. It was 8 matches there, which was just sheer. I was just there. I was blown away. I was like, okay, this is what Irish wrestling is. So that's what it is. What we're all aspiring to as wrestlers, as promoters, as whatever. Like, you know what I mean? That's it on the plate. So then I started going to other Contenders shows. And actually, should we, myself and yourself, used to meet for
in 57, the headline, we would go for a couple of wings, maybe a
couple of
burger,
brewskis,
and maybe, just maybe, 1 or 2 pints.
That's it, yeah. And before the Contender show, then I've obviously I went to the National Stadium show. But OTT as a product is fucking outstanding. They've done a great
seamless
for the industry, and they've done a great job for all wrestling companies, I think, in kind of bringing everyone together. Do you know what I mean?
OTT exists, as far as I can see, in this perfect middle ground between.
Yeah.
They're not a local like ship, like indie, that draws 6 people. They're not CCW.
No, they're a national product.
But at the same time, they're a national product. But at the same time, they somehow managed to, at least perception-wise, from some people, aren't exactly like progress.
Yeah, they're not like owned by WWE. Like
exactly, they are truly independent.
Yeah.
Like it is. There is no staff. There is no affiliation. They are an independent promotion that just happens to sell 2,500 tickets a couple of times a year.
Yeah, they're just the
means you can get fucking anybody.
Yeah, that's just what I was about to say. That is annoying as fuck. It's not affiliated with WWE, but like at the same time, their fucking tag team champs are fucking Tyler Bate and Trent Seven. Like,
well, I mean, are they though? I mean, champs fight, and the only undefeated team in OTT right now is the True Professionals, who have also, by the way, actually beat the piss out of Trent Seven, but weeks ago. So yeah, sure, yeah, they're great. Yeah, those guys are great.
Are we going to see the True Pro? Just before I ask that question, right? OTT are a national company, right? They go on the road. They go to Cork, Belfast, obviously Dublin, Waterford. We're regional promotions, Phoenix, and others, But it's very important for us to have the right relationship with OTT, because we use a lot of the guys that OTT use are trained and whatnot. Davis and all that kind of crowd. It was very important for us to have Joe on our first show. And I think Joe was instrumental in us even getting Dolan's Warehouse. CCW ran Dolan's Warehouse, and Neil Dolan, who owns Dolan's Warehouse, thought we were still CCW, just rebadged. Didn't want to have anything to do with us, and I think he probably had a chat with Joe, because I think they actually went to school together. So fucking wrestling is such a small community. And
bigger than wrestling. Ireland is such a small place, and business is such a small world. You're not, never mind the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. You're 2 degrees away from anybody who owns anything in Ireland.
So having the wards on our first show in Cork and Limerick, I think was big for us. Do you know what I mean?
That was great.
And, you know, we might have him back again. We'll see. Now, speaking of tag teams and Phoenix, two guys that we do see in Phoenix quite a lot are Michael May and Liam Royal. Are we going to see the True Pros in Phoenix?
Well, look, the True Pros are a team that have a very specific objective. The True Pros already know, and has been demonstrated multiple times, that they are not only the best tag team on the island, that they are a genuine global competitor. People often forget that the True Pros have beaten Strong Hearts, who, broadly speaking, on a global level, represent a continent's worth of wrestling. They have beaten more than hype. They have brought to their knees Trent Seven. They have so affected the largest company on the island that Cabray himself has foolishly and drenched in ego decided that maybe he wants to step in and see what he's made of against two people who are made of the finest of stuff. You have an unstoppable force in Liam Royal, and you have an immovable object in Michael May's skills. And of course, then you have the smartest guy in the building, smartest guy in all of wrestling. It's your boy, Jay Money. Even with a couple of margaritas in me, I can tell you that they're the best. Look, are the true professionals willing to work anywhere? You bet your ass they are. But the last time I checked, Michael May was doing pretty good in Phoenix. He had some sort of big wins available to him in the recent past.
It's true.
Big Win Mick is...
I think he's undefeated in Phoenix.
Undefeated. Michael May is undefeated in Phoenix. The true professionals are undefeated in OTT.
Yep.
And Jay Money, well, he's a manager.
Have you ever won in Phoenix? Unless he was in that 8-man tag with two of the bookers.
Have I ever won in Phoenix?
You could have that one.
I actually did. I actually did when
we always put people over, so you can fuck yourself on that one.
Yeah, I know.
Here's
I know.
what I won in Phoenix. Let me tell you exactly what I won in Phoenix. It might be the proudest win. Sorry. Okay, I have.
Sorry, we were having an internal argument.
My first year, I went on a run. I beat a bunch of people.
Oh yeah.
Top of the list of people who I beat: Phil Boyd, Alexander Dean. Straight up, no questions asked. Singles competition. Phil Boyd, Alexander Dean. Two of my proudest victories.
Where was this? Oh, Phil Boyd was your first match, wasn't it?
No.
Sorry, that's someone else. Phil
Boyd, me and Phil had a bit of a thing for a while there. Phil Boyd and me actually competed against each other in a Royal Rumble, which had a bit of a dubious ending, where I eliminated Phil. Phil believed that my feet had already touched the ground, so we decided to duke it out in the main event of a Fight Factory show, where I beat Phil straight up one-on-one after Phil had maybe done some less than ideal things to me. Didn't matter.
Oh boy.
That was what got me into the grapple game. The match against Jordan Devlin, Valkyrie, Michael May, LJ Cleary, and Sammy D. Beating Phil Boyd in straight-up competition, very proud moment. Beating Alexander Dean all over the world, another very proud moment. Beat him. I beat him multiple times in two continents. I beat him twice in America. That's been fun.
Nice.
My third most proud victory. The Phoenix Wrestling. It might be my number one most proud victory. Courage was supposed to do a show which had a floodgate match. The rules of a floodgate match are: if no one wins in 5 minutes, throw another body in there. If no one wins in another X minutes, throw a body in there. Throw a body in there. Throw a body in there. And we took that match and transplanted it into the Just Enough Courage to Perform Phoenix show. Unbelievable show.
Great name.
Full credit. Oh, great name. Great ambition. Great execution. Everyone on the Phoenix side in less than 24 hours turned around a phenomenal show.
I was introduced as Okada, but that was a mistake. Whatever. We'll just keep going.
We'll just breeze on past it. I left as the Courage champion that night, having won the floodgate match, pinning Dom Tuck.
It's a career highlight right there.
Yeah.
I also spent a significant portion of the match fighting William.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I think I ran into that match because
You did.
originally I was with that when the Courage show was supposed to run. I was booked in the Floodgate match, and obviously then when we decided to run with it, myself and fucking Marion decided to have a tag match because it kind of fed the story that we were still doing with Alexander Butch Armstrong. We did put ourselves over in that one, Raven, actually. But
I was just joking. I don't care.
Someone's got to win.
It's our dry wit.
Exactly.
We do this to each other all the time. We're fucking ball hopping.
Okay.
I know. But then again, we fucking when the Floodgate match was happening, it just looked like such fun that fucking I think I threw William from the dressing room.
Yeah, so I was getting frustrated with the match because people kept just showing up. And I was like, look, this is ridiculous. At this point, anybody at all from the locker room who wants to get in the match, get in the goddamn match. And as I am speaking, William is, by you, I assume, yeeted over the top of the barrier around the dressing room.
Over the crowd, all from the dressing room area.
Over the crowd. It's the top
standing on
rope.
a ladder. I just fucked him into the ring next to you, started wrestling him.
And then I started fighting. Well, look, he was the first guy who answered the call, so I'm gonna give him what he deserves.
William
Very talented, very underrated Irish wrestler is William.
Hugely underrated Irish wrestler. Couldn't agree more. There he is.
In fact, in the
my old friend.
In the first Phoenix match, first Phoenix show, William actually pinned me. Now, Nikki would help.
Was that the second one?
No, it was the first one. The first one, it was just me and Nikki. I had the super kick. Nikki didn't go for the pin, grabbed William, and the two of them pinned me. Second show, it was a tag team match, me and William versus Nikki and Session Man. And then in the third show, it was intergender interpuppet. So we had a therapy reunion, which was fucking class way to finish.
That was one of my favorite matches I've ever been in. It was so much fucking fun the entire way through it. It was so fucking weird.
Yeah. It was class though. It was class. So we had William.
Hey! Talk to me about the future of Phoenix. We've been talking about the past a lot these last couple of minutes. Let me flip the script. Yeah,
you're very good at segues. You know that, Mr. Money. You're very good at.
Thank you. I own several. Let me ask you a question. What's the future of Phoenix?
Well, the new owners will be coming in from 1st of July. So the way we did it is we sold it, like Marion sold his shares differently to me. So he got out earlier than I did. And it's just going to, like, because of the climate and whatnot, you know, that we just couldn't really get everything across the line until July. Now, I'll be still staying on as a kind of in an organizational capacity, more so than anything else, but like I won't be.
Yeah, handover is important.
Yeah. So there'll be a period of time where I'll still be kind of fucking running the music and all that kind of stuff. And I suppose whoever, for legal reasons, until it goes through, I can't exactly reveal who we sold it to, you know. But look, it's done. There's two separate entities coming together because we didn't want one person coming in charge like Lars or Lance. I can't remember what we called him.
Lars. He was Lars.
Lars. So what we did was we
decided. Larry Cuddlesons.
And I will announce one thing: we definitely didn't sell it to Lars or any associate of Lars. And we've.
I'd like to see what would happen if you did. That would be interesting. Lars just coming out in the next Phoenix show.
I think he's cancelled.
I'd like to see that for the same reason. I'd like to see it for the simple reason that I would really like to see the first shoot run in the history of Irish wrestling.
Yeah, I know. It would be like literally like everyone in Cork wrestling besides him just like dive bomb in the ring with like
legit steel chair.
You never see a 41-year-old man running so fast in your life. You know what I mean? To be like.
Fun fact: he wanted to be on the first Phoenix show, didn't he?
He asked, fucking kind of begged to a certain degree to be on the show, yeah, to say goodbye to the fans. We're like, going, fuck off, boy.
Keep talking. I'm going to be back in a second. I can still hear you.
So the last thing we're going to
I'm terrified of what's going to happen.
the last thing we're going to do.
Raven, I just need to pee up and slam on this tequila.
Oh, that's fine. Can you not take the camera with you? I kind of want to see that.
Unfortunately, this isn't a wide-angle lens, so I can only show you part of the action.
Very.
So yeah, he
I
wanted
do
to be on the
enjoy
show
Larry
to say
David. Huh?
say goodbye to C. He wanted to be on the show to say goodbye to CCW. I was like, why don't you just cut a promo, boy?
Yeah, you could easily put it on Twitter, like.
On your Twitter or whatever, like, and just, you know. But then he tried. He asked us to get back in. He wanted to be a manager and all this kind of stuff. We're like, look, boy, there's nobody wants you there at all. And then he got cancelled, and he'll remain cancelled because of his behaviour.
From an inside point of view, can you like pinpoint one moment or one element of CCW that kind of caused its downfall, besides like naming out fucking one person? Do you think that there was one point in the show or anything?
Yeah, I do. I believe it was after. I think it was when Pastor and Joe Connors fought into the street. Right, great spectacle.
Yeah.
That identified the guards to CCW's existence. And people said that it was the Vintners Association that shut Lee down, Lawrence, and the Bring Your Own Beer, but it wasn't. And I know this for a fact. I know it was probably, they probably use it as an excuse, but I know a couple of cops, and you know I've asked them a couple of times what did they know what happened or whatever, because they're kind of based centrally in Cork City. So basically, the videos going around of like 200 people brawling or 200 people around a fight outside Penrose Quay, and that's in the city centre. That can't happen, like, do you know what I mean? And then they kind of came around to Lee and whatnot, or Lance, and the losing of Bring Your Own Beer, and because he'd already lost the Keno because the Keno had closed, but he had a venue in Penrose Quay that was fucking amazing. Bar the rats running around. Just the concept of that, own your own venue, like when he built. It
was shit for training. It was great for like the actual show when it was dressed up.
If I had that space and a cleaned space, we would do, and that's what we want to do in the future of Phoenix Wrestling. I know you touched on it there, Jay, but the future of Phoenix Wrestling is to get our own facility. So at the moment, even though we're lockdown, we have a gym. We have an arrangement with our landlord that where the rent is, you know, it will have to be paid at some stage, but it's not going to kick us out, which is good of him. But even now, we're looking for a new venue. And we're looking for a venue like the Circus Factory that we can just have ourselves. And we will run a show every month and train in there, and we'll never have to leave it, never have to move a ring. And we'll fucking put a good few pound into that, making that place a wrestling event center. We also have kind of a partner in Thai boxing, Muay Thai, that is coming up with us. They've also named their company Phoenix. So it's Phoenix Wrestling.
That's cool.
Even though we will be Phoenix Wrestling, is like they're kind of renting off us. It's not like we're partners 50-50 going. So we're the bosses and they're our tenants. And that's the way it's going to stay. We reckon there's a good opportunity in Cork if we can find the right place to really fucking grow Phoenix Wrestling Muay Thai thing. We even have the name picked out that we're going to call the new facility and all that kind of stuff. So
go on. Can you spoil it right now?
I'll spoil it for you, Jay. Jay, anything.
Hey, some hot takes. What's the name of that new venue?
Phoenix Coliseum.
Oh, we love it.
There was in Cork as well. There's an old building.
What? What are you talking about? Oh my god!
We actually did not have this pre-planned.
We did not have this planned. I had a whole bit in the back of my head about being from Rome or being in Rome. You'd head down the Via del Sette Ponte. Tell them I sent you and
nice.
I'll give you a gold bar.
But there's an old building in Cork. It's an old cinema. It's really old, famous building called the Coliseum, and it fucking changed the name of it into the Leisureplex. So.
Oh shit! I remember that. I had like every fucking party as like a child in that. Like.
So when I was a kid, it was always you go to the Col. When I went to in school, we went to the Hop down to the Coliseum. So
nice.
I fucking Col back to Cork, and when we get a fucking building, it's going to be like the Fight Factory have. That's their Fight Factory. The Phoenix is going to be the Phoenix Coliseum. Welcome to the fucking fuckers.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Cheers. This is getting more palatable.
Yeah.
Are you just getting a little bit more drunk?
It's funny how hooch makes hooch easier.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A classic combo.
What's the worst tasting alcohol you've ever tasted? For me personally, it's Tesco vodka. I thought I was gonna die.
Here's the thing about Tesco everyday value vodka. If you're drinking it every day, its flavor ain't your biggest problem.
Yeah. I think kind of beer from Aldi is kind of that Schwarzenegger stuff. Do you know the one? If you don't recognize the name of a beer that's not like all hippy jippy fucking home brewery shit, you're going to have a over.
Yeah.
Literally, the best beer I've ever had has also been a Schwarzbier from Aldi.
Really?
Really?
Well, fuck me anyway.
I thought you had expensive taste. What the fuck?
I do. No. I appreciate quality, and I have an amount of resources that allow me to exercise real distinction in excessive price about quality. There is a Schwarzbier, I cannot remember its name. It's got a particularly buxom lady on the can, and it's got cans on the can. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, nice. I love it.
I swear to God, it's fucking delicious.
I think that Aftershock, which is the one you light in fire. That's not Aftershock. Aftershock's
what?
You're thinking of a flaming Mo. Sorry, I am full of Simpsons references today.
Do you know what Aftershock is? The red one.
Yeah.
That shit is the worst.
It's like it's similar to like a Mickey Finn's. It's like a
there's a one you light in fire. It's not Aftershock.
I think it was Sambuca.
Sambuca, yeah. Or pure poison. We used to drink a lot of Sambuca when we were just on the hop from the Cal. I thought
Sambuca was like a fancy drink. That seems like the flaming Sambuca is something that you get on like a fucking fancy cruise, wouldn't it be?
There's nothing fucking fancy about Sir Henry's, my dear.